How to get your home ready for Airbnb. There is an art and definitely a science about being a successful Airbnb, or what we used to call in the old days, VRBO, which is still around, vacation rental by owner, okay? There's so many great things here. I started doing this back in 1998, and I'm gonna show you the tips and tricks to make big money on these properties. And it's so great when you can get a property with a tax deed where you own it here and the income can just keep rolling in. The last thing I'm gonna show you in this video is how to maximize your income, so stick around to the very end. Do not get all excited about setting up something on an Airbnb unless you focus on the regulations of that area. I mean, for instance, HOAs, a lot of HOAs say no go for the whole Airbnb. I was just staying at a friend's house. A bunch of his friends went in on 5 or 8 of them put money into this thing. They all use it as they come into Park City doing skiing and stuff like that. No way could that be an Airbnb because of the HOAs. So check the HOAs, make sure it's okay to have that there. Don't try to skirt around it. I've seen so many people say, no one's gonna ever know. Okay, listen, if you wanna find out what your kids are doing, ask your neighbors, they know. The neighbors know what's going on. And there always happens to be one Karen in the neighborhood that's gonna tell on you and do that. Don't waste your time with it. If they say no, it's not gonna be a VRBO or an Airbnb, period, end of story. Number 2, okay, if that's okay, you got that, find out the local regulations. Now, there's a lot of buzz around there saying that cities don't like Airbnbs. Baloney. What they want is they want the taxes on it. The difference between an Airbnb and a hotel is there's a taxation difference. See, the cities get a lot of money from the taxes on the hotel. And here's another misnomer. Oh, Las Vegas doesn't want any more Airbnb. They put a moratorium about it because they're trying to figure out the tax consequences. It's not the hotel lobby that's trying to push them out of the way. It's that some Airbnb people are not paying the tax. So make sure you follow the regulations and get it rolling. And everybody's talking about these different locations and what the best is. It's so easy. You go into the county, you talk to them and say, this is what I'm doing. I'll give you an example. There was one area that we're looking at putting an Airbnb, and we have one going up right now. But everybody said, you can't. They put a moratorium. And we went in there and talked to the county people who knew us because we had built a relationship like I've shown you in other videos. And the guy goes, oh no, what you guys are doing, we want that. The problem we've been having is people have been putting Airbnbs in here that are crap houses. He says one person even put a tent on a lot and called it an Airbnb. Okay, we're just not allowing it. This is where regulation, I mean, I'm libertarian at heart, leave us alone, let us do our business, but sometimes regulation is good. When you got yahoos going out there and putting a tent on a lot, they need to go away. So you need to find your local regulations, work within that environment. Number 1. Number 2 is you've got to make the house friendly. House rules, oh, this is important. And make sure these are plastered somewhere where they're gonna see them. Don't have them buried in your binder. Cancellation policies. What is your cancellation policy? You guys, I've got Airbnbs in other parts of the world. And there's some countries that if they cancel within 1 month of the Airbnb, they don't get their money back because it's such a long planning process there that I can't fill that up. And it's very clear in that whole house rules. So when they get in there, no parties, okay? Make sure there's no parties. If you know there are more than X number of people in the property, there's gonna be a huge fine involved in that. Make sure that's the case, especially if you're around some areas where there might be some kids that serendipitously, oh, we're just gonna rent it with some friends, and all of a sudden there's 50 people in your property. I've seen that happen. You can't have cameras inside the Airbnb, but you can certainly have cameras in the outside in the parking area, okay? Do it. They're hooked up to the internet, they're all that good stuff, and you can see real quickly how many cars are coming and going in that if you suspect there's any problem. Sorry young people, but if anybody's under 30, I'm very reluctant to rent to them. I've had problems in the past on that. And also, when the house rules, when you're going by to inspect the property afterwards, you're gonna have to pay somebody, your housekeepers, do inventory. Are the little dove figurines on the wall still there? Are they, make sure that they're looking at all the towels and everything else. There has to be house inventory of everything, which works as 2 factors there. As things start to get lower, you know what's going on. For instance, in my pantry, if I've got a Costco size thing of paper towels and half of them are gone in one visit, there was probably a party. I mean, come on, parents. Think about how when you go home, you walk in there after being on vacation, you go, oh, my kid's at a party here. How quickly is that? Those are the things that you need to understand. Make sure you understand the house rules and have them dictated very clearly on that so you don't run into any of those problems. Spend the money. A lot of you know that I'm a photographer. I'm at a professional level. I've got awards and stuff like that. I travel all over the world. Having somebody come in with a cell phone and taking pictures of your Airbnb, it's not going to get people there. Spend the extra money to have somebody come in there and take the proper photos. This is crucial, okay? You can make an Airbnb look spectacular. And I don't know how many you've stayed at, but I've stayed at more than I care to count. I love staying at Airbnbs. You feel connected to the community, you're going to the grocery store, you're eating real food and not going out and getting all that crap food out there. You can relax and go, all of that great. I love Airbnbs, as you can tell. But make sure that the people that are staying at it can get a feel for what it is. There is nothing worse than going to an Airbnb and it's not what you expected, because remember, it's a two-way street. They can rate you wrong just like you can rate them wrong. So make sure you're giving them what you want. Find out, obviously you want to have local amenities. What's available in the area? A lot of people have these binders and what have you. Those I think are better than most people realize, but have them professionally done so they're out there. Internet's real easy to get hooked up for the people. Local, the eateries, your favorite restaurants and what to do out there. If there's anybody that does local tours, get them involved. Here's the other thing. Anytime I'm looking at a tax deed property and tax deed area, I want to find out what's beautiful about this. Okay, for instance, I was in Utah and I was staying at an Airbnb. In less than 20 minutes away, I could be up at Sundance. Literally. Looking at the mountains, if anybody's ever been to Sundance in Utah, it's like you're in the Swiss Alps. So I don't know, I think it was 18 minutes away. I'm sitting there listening to a babbling brook, eating a sandwich. I'm going, wow, guess what? That's gonna up my review on that particular deal. So when I'm looking at it, like a lot of you know, I have Airbnbs in Joshua Tree. You know why? I'm 7 minutes from a national park, okay? My Airbnbs are at the most 15. Are there. There's 3.5, do your research. So I know there's 3.4 or 3.5 million people coming into the Joshua Tree National Forest every single year, and there's no place for them to stay. There's a couple of the no-tail motels, but that's about it. There's a nice kind of an Airbnb Airstream park over there that's really nice, all booked up. Okay, now I'm looking at the competition and I'm saying, okay, how much are you charging? Easy to find out. Look them up online and go, oh, here's one here, $875. Look at their calendar and start calculating what their vacancy factor is. Now, I don't care if that Airbnb guy is telling you, I'm 90% occupied, I'm 75% occupied. You saw him at the local grocery store and he gave you all the information. Bull, you know what, okay? I don't buy it. Any numbers they give me, I cut in half. If it's still good at that, then move forward. An Airbnb is all about you. How well do you manage the Airbnb? There's software out there for the calendars, there's all of that good stuff. There's all sorts of different ways to get paid. So where's the real money in Airbnb? It's managing them, okay? If you're managing your own Airbnb, you're gonna get bigger profit. As soon as you pass that off to somebody else, your property gets affected. They don't care as much. Shocker, they don't respond as fast. So you have to have somebody there that's responsible for taking care of the problems there, which brings me up to one of the other things. Make sure your Airbnb is not about ready to fall apart. In other words, your hot water heater is flushed and ready to go. Heating and air conditioning is good. It's maintained. I had an Airbnb up in the Tahoe area. I even went the next extra mile to put just basic stuff in the cupboards. I had Bisquick in there. I had oils in there because I have stayed at so many Airbnbs, and how irritating is it to go into an Airbnb and there's nothing there. So I'm gonna go out and buy, $25 worth of spices just to use the barbecue in the back. How are you supposed to use a barbecue if you can't even spice it up? Come on, you barbecue people, work with me on that. Or even make some, Bisquick. Okay, that's $4, $5 to put that Bisquick in there. I get the containers, I line them up, I label them, spaghetti noodles. Literally, I will put all of that in it Because when people open up the cupboards, they're going, oh my gosh, this guy was ready. Now I just need to go and get some spaghetti sauce. Now I just need to do this. Now I just need to do that. Whatever it is, I make sure those things are available. It's a very small price to pay. I've had Airbnbs that are making me $8, $9, and even $10,000 a month as a group. That's the last thing I want to talk about is the group. You got to get more than just one in the area. Don't just go for one, go for multiple. There are so many facets to this. Some of you know I love these to death. I've got some brand new training on how to get Airbnb so cheap, it's unbelievable. I just went through this whole process. I put it right into a really easy to understand webinar on that. That's gonna be my gift to you. All you gotta do is click on higginsmethod.com and I've got a free training that'll walk you through that step by step. This is Saen Higgins with the Tax Lien Method saying God bless and good luck.